Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Wednesday, July 6th. So today we have the moon in Libra all day. We're actually building towards our first quarter moon in Libra at 14 degrees. We will be experiencing that at the end of today, 10:14 p.m., when the sun squares the moon, giving us our first quarter moon. So what do we know about the first quarter moon? Well, if you're a Moon Guide subscriber, you should be able to look at the lunar cycle for this month and know that this is our first point of action, our first point of lesson, if you shall. Since the new moon in Cancer. The new moon in Cancer opens up the new intentions, the new foundation, the new emotions that we need to be focused on. And then the first quarter moon provides us with a point of decision, action, so that we can kind of experiment with that and see what comes full circle in preparation for the full moon in Capricorn on the 13th. So the first quarter moon is always a buildup of intensities. And after yesterday, wow, the huge astrological and energetic day that we had, the first quarter moon is definitely going to be intensified in a way that we haven't experienced in a very, very long time. If you haven't listened to yesterday's energy forecast for July 5th, I'm going to recommend you do so. I actually recommend that you go back and listen to the ascension forecast for the week. We're in a pretty huge week here. Pretty extravagant energies coming in from the cosmos. This is definitely a turning point for the collective. It is super important that you're up on and aware of everything transpiring on Earth and in our cosmos right now, and the effects that it has on us individually. So after yesterday's pretty extravagant, energetic shit show, let's call it, today we have a semi-quiet day in comparison. There are 8 different aspects taking place here today. 6 of them involve the moon. The moon is going to make an aspect with the true node that isn't the most helpful here this morning. The moon in Libra, of course, is looking for balance, peace, harmony, compromise, wanting to keep things light and fluffy, wanting to really resolve a lot of the mental and emotional issues that we've been experiencing. But this particular aspect with the true node, which is our soul's purpose, our soul's destiny, the path that we need to be on to reach our soul's highest potential, this is kind of suggesting that we're hella confused. After yesterday, especially the last aspects of the day, really kind of creating that emotional chaos for us to sort through so that we can find clarity, this particular aspect is kind of playing on that. We don't know our next step now. We thought we did. We no longer do. We thought we were in a certain vibe. Now we're not so sure. This particular aspect, again, the moon in Libra needs to experience the extremes in order to find that middle ground. And we're definitely experiencing extremes with this particular aspect. Even more so, the moon is going to oppose, sit across from, get in a little bit of an argument with Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, who is in Aries energy. So Libra and Aries sit across from each other in the zodiac wheel. Aries energy, the very first sign of the zodiac, is about what we want individually, what is best for us, what we want, need, and desire, what we want to experience, the spark, the passion, the path that we want for ourselves. Very, very entrenched in the ego identity. While the Libran energy is more about the partnership, more about the group, also very self-sacrificing, putting one's wants, needs, and desires on the back burner in order to put other people's wants, needs, and desires at the forefront. Libran energy, very much people-pleasing energy, wants everybody else to be happy, even if it's at a disservice of themselves. So we have already that extreme polarized situation going on with the Libran and Aries energy. What makes this even more extreme is that Jupiter is the magnifying glass. He turns the volume up on what it is that we're thinking and what it is that we're feeling. And right now, emotionally speaking, right, the moon, our emotions, we just want to keep things light and fluffy. We just want to find peace and harmony. We just want to love. We just want pleasure. We just want joy. Well, Jupiter is over here, the planet of growth and expansion, in Aries energy for the first time in 12 years, who really doesn't really care about keeping things light and fluffy. We have a mission to do. We have a job to do. We have to bring new things to life, begin new chapters, initiate new chapters. There's really no time to have fun and keep things light and fluffy, especially emotionally, because we have, like, growth isn't fun. Okay. Growing pains are not fun. And in order to actually get to where it is that we want to be, we have to go through the uncomfortable stage, the awkward stage of growth that we're currently going through. And none of that is light and fluffy. None of that is fun. So Jupiter is kind of exasperating for us and exaggerating for us emotionally what it is that we're currently experiencing. Now, Jupiter also likes to illuminate for us what we want more of. Right? So maybe we want more safety, stability. Maybe we want more love. Maybe we want more passion, more fire, more desire. Maybe we want more friends, more money, whatever the case may be. There's a lot more that we want more of. And the problem with that is that it bounces us into the scarcity mindset, realizing that we don't have what we want in the here and now. And the moon in Libra would like to make light of that, when realistically we shouldn't be making light of that. We need to feel the weight of everything that we're not happy with in the here and now, so that we can use that as a motivating force to get our asses in gear to do what we have to do, what is absolutely necessary to move through these growing pains, to grow through what we're going through in order to get to what it is we actually want for ourselves. And the list of what we want more of is very long and very lengthy. The moon bumps into Saturn, the Lord of Karma. I say it like that because this is not a nice aspect either. The moon in Libra, again, wants to keep things light and fluffy, wants to find balance, wants to stay in the middle ground, and there ain't none of that happening with this Saturn aspect. Negative Nancy's coming out to play. There's no light-hearted, playful energy when Saturn, the Lord of Karma, is putting pressure and weighing us down with the weight of the world, the roles and the responsibilities, the commitments that we've made. Now, Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius, which means that we have a tendency right now to be reflective over the past in every single time that we've given our own power away to other people. The reason being, the Aquarius energy that Saturn is currently in is about society, about the collective. We are more apt to sacrifice our own wants, needs, and desires for the happiness, the well-being of the group, of the collective. But what that gets us is individually, we become resentful. We become angry. We are tired of living up to, or trying to live up to, the standard of other people, especially where society is concerned. That is angry-some, okay? That triggers us in a not so nice way. And then you got people-pleasing Libra over here that has done nothing but try to put other people before themselves, and then have the audacity to build up resentment towards said people for sacrificing their own wants, needs, and desires to make these people happy when these people didn't even ask for such things. So this particular dynamic is not going to feel good. I will just be straight with you. The negative narrative, the somberness coming out of this Saturn aspect, in conflict with the want, need, and desire to keep in the shallow end emotionally and mentally, to keep things light and fluffy, of the moon being in Libra, this is going to be a hard aspect to navigate. We do get a little bit of help. Venus is going to sextile, which is a good energy, with Chiron, the wounded healer. What this is kind of suggesting is that we've sat in the funk. We've magnified what we want more of. We've magnified where it is that, life is asking us to do a deeper dive into our emotions and our psyche than we would prefer to do right now. We've recognized all that. And what we get out of it is that Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and pleasure and worth and money, who rules over the Libran energy that the moon is currently in, Venus is in Gemini. Curiosity, experimentation, new methods, new ways, new thinking. Because this is a sextile with Chiron, this does suggest that the funk we just sat on just kind of pushed us into having some realizations for us to choose something, right? Gemini energy, choices, options, decisions, paths. We have had an overwhelming amount of choice, let's say, what we want to dabble in intellectually, what it is that we want to experiment with, conversation, intimacy, relationships, money matters. Whatever the funk that we just sat in, whatever the more we just realized, whatever the weight we just suffered under, this pushed us to having an aha moment, pushing us into one choice, one option, one direction, one path over the other. This is healing. This is progress. This is a good thing. Then we have Mercury semi-square Uranus. So this is a little bit of a problem because Mercury rules over the lower level intellect, where logic and practicality dictate our egoic experience. And Uranian energy rules over the higher level intellect, that we kind of, grasp information from higher realms of intelligence. We bring it into our crown, our higher mind. We get it as intuitive insight, vision, dream. We drop it down into the lower level intellect that Mercury rules over. We apply logic and practicality to it. We come up with a calculated strategy on how it is that we're actually going to bring some of these aha moments to life. Problem is, a semi-square means that there's a tension here, and a tension is needed, an inner conflict is needed in order for us to find common ground, to find how to solve this problem. Now, Mercury is just fresh into Cancer energy, so we're a little bit more emotional. We're a little bit more into the deeper ends of our upbringing, of our condition, of what it is that we want, need, and desire, our understanding, our perception of our emotional wants, needs, and desires. Well, Uranian energy over here is kind of creating a little bit of emotional chaos in our physical realms because it's in Taurus. So this is affecting our day-to-day life, disruptions to our plans, popping off in our personal relationships, having money issues, really affecting the materialistic realm. And right now, because we're so hypersensitive and we have to rely more on our emotional and intuitive depth instead of our logical and practical mind space, we're having a little bit of a problem trying to understand how we're going to solve some of the issues that are very much in our face in the here and now. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Uranus just about 2 hours later. This is a positive thing, though. This would suggest that the extremes that we just sat in, the polarized situations and emotions that we just sat in, the tension, the conflict that we just sat in, showed us where it is that we're able to solve some of these problems, to find balance in these extremes. This is a beautiful thing. This opens us up. This gives us aha moments. This gives us clarity. We have a breakthrough. We're able to raise the vibrations and frequencies in our heart space, in our mental space, and have an idea on what it is that we need to build from here. This is a good thing. Even more than that, the moon goes ahead and bumps into the true node in a positive way, which suggests that we're coming up with solutions on how it is that we're going to proceed from here. The confusion that we felt earlier in the day has led us to clarity. The weight that we felt earlier in the day has led us to lighten our load. The extreme that we felt earlier in the day has led us to a middle common ground. And this is preparing us for this tension point that, of course, the first quarter moon always puts on us to make a decision, to pull the trigger, to align with the direction, to choose an option, to align with what needs to be done. Does it feel good? No. But that is the only way that we ever make a change, is to feel pressurized enough in order to have to do so. The moon highlights our emotions, our unconscious self, what it is that we're overly attached to. The sun illuminates the here and now, what it is that we have to embody in order to create a new foundation for ourselves. What we're left with is us being torn technically apart, but the overlap between the old versus the new is where it is that we currently are, acting as the observer and recognizing that if we don't let go of old emotions, old thoughts, old ways of doing things, old methods and understandings and perceptions, if we don't let go of that, we're not going to be able to build the new reality, the new situation, the new dream, the new vision that our heart and our head is now looking so keenly on actually manifesting.